Howdy folks, today we're going to comprehensively cover all of the best horses in Red Dead Redemption 2 for you to gain at whatever point you are in the story. We're going to talk about every stat, how every stat is affected by actions, ranks, items, a full and somewhat verbose explanation of bonding down to the numbers, absolutely everything, all coming from a fully official source so it is 100% accurate. As well as this, in the description will be a link to my website where I've put all horses and their stats into a dynamic spreadsheet so you can search for the type of horse you want and narrow it down by how the horse is procured, as well as how far along into the game you need to be to get each horse and even full locations for all wild horses. So let's get into it. There are 3 ways to gain yourself a new horse. You can buy it from a stables, steal it from someone else, or find and tame one in the wild. All are valid ways to gain yourself a horse, and at the beginning getting a really nice horse is easiest via taming in the wild, or if you happen to spot someone with a particularly nice horse, theft. One particularly nice horse that can be gained very early on, just into chapter 2, is the Arabian whitecoat horse. If you're interested, there is a specific video about that horse linked in the description, but we'll also go over where to get it in this one, as with all relevant horses. Horses have 4 distinct attributes. These are health, stamina, speed and acceleration. These 4 attributes are all very aptly named, but to be specific, health is its hit points, stamina is its endurance for like swimming, jumping, galloping, etc. Okay, you get it. These attributes can be affected by different things in different ways. There is some conflicting data between the in-game tips and the official walkthrough guide regarding how bonding affects these attributes. In-game it says on the overview of your horse in the main menu that taking care of your horse will increase bonding, which in turn will increase its health, stamina, speed and acceleration. Now the official guide states that when your bonding levels go up, only the health and stamina is raised. It is possible that it is a misunderstanding or just badly written in game, as when bonding my Arabian whitecoat, even at level 3 its top speed remained at 6, as did its acceleration, so take that how you will. But while we're on this, let's cover bonding and exactly how it affects everything. Bonding is a really nice touch, and it kind of makes you more attached to the horse in real life too, but it has more benefits to the horse and your gameplay to bond than just emotional attachment. There are a total of 5 levels of bonding. All stable purchase horses will begin at bonding level 1, while wild and stolen horses begin at level 0. But don't worry, no matter what the horse, it's only 50 experience to go from level 0 to 1, which is a bit of food, a few pats and a few seconds cantering. The bonding works on a classic experience gain system. Actions that you do increase the experience of your bonding with that horse. Specifically for wild or stolen horses, breaking a wild horse will grant 25 experience. If you then ride on it for a little while, you will have earned its trust, granting a further 15 experience. What you could do immediately after breaking a wild horse, or what you should do stealing a horse, is to just place your saddle on it, which will push the experience up to 50, no further just to bonding level 1. When you pat your horse it will give 5 experience, though it does have a cooldown of 45 seconds once your horse has reached calm, so it's semi-pointless to just keep patting constantly in order to level up the bonding quickly. If your horse gets spooked by some predators or gunfire etc, calming it down from that will result in 50 in experience. Applying ointment will give 5, cleaning when dirty will give 15, though cleaning when clean will just give 1, the cutoff is dirt level of 10 out of 100. Feeding your horse a treat will give 5, though be careful as you don't want to make it obese, more on weight shortly. If you feed your horse a highly nutritious piece of food that can recover 50 or more points of core health, you'll gain 15 if the horse's health is below 75, 5 for between 76 and 85, and 1 if between 86 and 100. Feeding your horse basic nutritious food that will restore between 25 and 49 core health points will result in 5 experience if health is below 76, or 1 if above 75. Walking or trotting will reward 2 experience every 5 seconds, or 1 experience every 5 if the horse is burdened. Galloping is 1 every 5 seconds no matter what, and leading is 2 every 5 seconds burdened or not. And lastly, hitching your horse will provide you with 15 experience per area with a cooldown of 12 hours. Now this isn't fully clear, whether this means that after 12 hours you can hitch in a place you have hitched before and receive a further 15 experience, or whether you can only receive the 15 experience as a one-off per area and cannot receive this one-off from any area more than once per 12 hours. Also, it's important to note that this is 12 in-game hours, otherwise Hitching will reward 1 experience. Unloading a heavy load from your horse will reward 15 experience if it has carried the load for 2.5 or more in-game hours. If it has not, then 1 experience. Now the total experience, and so how much to gain per level of bonding, differs between the horse types, and it is based on the horse's attribute levels, so essentially the better the horse the longer it takes to bond. To find out which group your horse falls into, just add up the attribute values. For your ease, here is a table with the experience required per bonding level for each group. Each time you level up your bonding with your horse, you will gain a perk, except for level 0 to 1. At level 2 you gain the rearing perk, which allows you to bring your horse onto its hind legs while it is still. It doesn't go into detail anywhere on what effect this has, but I would assume it may be effective at making a wolf think twice, but that is just a logical inference. Don't put your hopes and dreams into it if you're surrounded by wolves. Your horse will also gain 1 tank in both health and stamina, increasing those attributes nicely. At level 3 you'll gain the skid perk, which allows you to skid to a stop very quickly, and skid turn around tight corners when coming in from speed. This is a very useful perk and causes no harm to the horse, though it does look like it should. Your horse will gain yet another tank in both health and stamina. Lastly, at level 4 you'll gain the piaffing, or however you pronounce that, and drifting perk, allowing you to dressage it up while stationary and drift while moving for some fast and furious fun. There are a few other things that increase as you level up, but they need a bit of explanation, so firstly, horse permadeath. There has been a lot of misinformation spread around about horse death, and I bought into it myself and mentioned it in a previous video, and for that I apologise, so I'll set the record straight now. While yes, horses in Red Dead Redemption 2 do in fact have a permadeath feature, the specific pre-order and special edition horses are uniquely talented in self-resurrection. These specific pre-order and special edition horses are uniquely talented in self-resurrection. The pre-order Warhorse and special edition Dappled are the only horses in game at all that will resurrect when fully dead. If they die fully, they will resurrect at the Valentine stables. But don't worry too much, if your horse loses all of its health, there is still a chance. You have a short window in which to revive your horse using an aptly named horse reviver. These are cheap and sold in multiple places including Valentine, so just ensure you have at least one on you at all times. When your horse reaches this state of near death, you have 12 minutes at bonding level 1, 25 minutes at level 2, 30 minutes at level 3 and 60 minutes at level 4 in which to apply your horse reviver. Now it is not specified anywhere whether this is in-game or actual time, but I would assume it is a solid 12 minutes, if at level 1 as 12 minutes of the game time is seconds, but I have not tested it. And I would recommend best practices are to assume it is definitely in-game time. There is no time length for revival at bonding level 0, so I would assume you cannot revive, so be careful when trying to get that epic wild horse. If it dies, it is likely now just gone from your playthrough. Lastly, for bonding is a whistle command. This allows you to call your horse over provided it is within a certain range of you, and your dainty steed shall come lovingly to its master. Through bonding, the whistle's effective range is enhanced. At level 1 its range is 185 to 205 metres. At 2 it's 225 to 260, at 3 it's 280 to 330 metres, and finally at level 4 its range is 350 metres. These are ranges because it is not a static jump between levels. The effective range will increase by 1 metre for every 10 experience gained, and when it hits a new level on bonding, it will receive a 20 metre jump. Now this doesn't make full sense to me, as if there are different groups of horses based on the power of their attributes that require different amount of experience between levels, then they can't all go up by 1 metre per 10 experience, or the stronger the horse, the greater the range. I expect this is simply an incomplete explanation, and it scales relative to the horse type, meaning that it would be at the same effective range per bonding level by percent, and that this 10 for 1 metre is a base value that is modified via the group type. Either way, it's really not that important, I'm just being pedantic. There is also another whistle related stat, and that is a segment. At level 1 the horse has 4 segments, 6 at level 2 and 8 at levels 3 and 4. These segments are a sort of response bar, so when you whistle for your horse it fills the response bar up by an amount that increases based on your bonding level. The bar itself is extended each time you level. The more this response bar is filled, the faster your horse will come to you. So in other words, just spam the whistle a few times to get your horse to come to you as quickly as it can. Now let's cover horse class. There are 6 base classes of horse. Most are just one of these, but some are multiple. There's riding, which are the standard ones with generally low stats. Draft, which are another standard kind of horse, often used to pull carts. Race, which are suited to short but extremely fast portions of travel with low stam and health but high speed and acceleration. War, these are the opposite of race, with being kind of slow but tough as nails with high stamina and health. Workhorses have high stamina with average speed and health and low acceleration. And superior, these are the cream of the crop, being rare and or very expensive. As I mentioned above, some horses are more than one class and will generally have the perks of both, so are expensive and rare themselves. Before we get to the horse items, let's quickly cover the last type of stat. These are 3 tertiary attributes: handling, horse weight and cleanliness. Handling is super simple to explain, but detailed in its application. It's essentially just how agile and reactive to your commands it is. The handling type is defined by class, so draft horses have the worst handling, being heavy. Riding, war, work and multi-class horses have average handling, or standard as it would say in game. Race horses have great handling and goes by race. And finally, superior horses have the best handling, which is referred to as elite. For weight, it is also nice and simple. Your horse's weight is a big factor to its health. It is a range from 0 to 100. 50 is perfect fitness for general weight. If you feed it, it will intake calories and so gain weight. If you don't feed it, it will lose weight. You can track its general weight along with all aspects of its health in the main menu under player option, then horse. So if you have been neglecting to feed your horses like I originally was, use the opportunity to feed it loads of treats to speed up the bonding and get it to weight to a nice average level. Under or overfeeding your horse will result in a lower top speed. And lastly, for these tertiary attributes is cleanliness. As with yourself, going through mud and just general wandering will result in getting your horse filthy. To remedy this, either brush your horse by focusing it and clicking the appropriate button, or riding your horse through some deepish water. A red brush will occasionally flash on your horse's health icon when it is very dirty. At that point you really should clean it up. Being dirty will increase the rate at which your horse's meters run down. For items, we'll go through saddles and their stats, stirrups and theirs, and then consumable horse items. So for saddles, they all give bonuses to stamina core drain rate, health core drain rate, and stamina regen. As a shorthand, we'll refer to these as stam drain, health drain and stam regen respectively. Each saddle has a standard and improved type. As you can imagine, the improved type is greatly increased in price but far more so in its stats. So it is very worthwhile to simply save for an improved version for overall currency efficiency. Each saddle also has a different focus for the distribution of its stats and a different quantity of stat points to distribute. If you were to focus on aesthetics, you won't lose too much by just picking the improved version of whatever you think looks best, but if you want to maximise your bonuses, then you should choose via stat priority. So to focus Stam Drain as your primary, then whatever the secondary priority is, the choice is clear that there is only one saddle with 18% stamina core drain rate, and that is the improved gird and trail saddle. This saddle will set you back $80. If you are focusing health drain as your primary, there is also only one saddle with 18% health core drain rate bonus, and that is the improved Stenger roping saddle. This saddle will set you back $78. Focusing Stam Regen, none are 18%, but 3 are 16%. 2 of these 3 are the Stam Drain and Health Drain 18%ers, so whichever you choose as a secondary priority of the 2, you should pick as if you are prioritising it anyway. For the best balance that gives the maximum stat point allowance and most even distribution is Improved Gird and Vaquero Saddle. This gives a distribution of 16%, 14%, 16%. This saddle costs a total of $85. The special edition saddle, the Nuevo Perezo, does not appear to give bonuses and is likely purely aesthetic. If it does give bonuses, I'm not sure where to view them, as they are not visible on the in-game stable saddle menu like the others. No stats for saddles and stirrups are shown in the official guide either way, which is a little annoying. As for stirrups, you may have noticed that you cannot view stirrups in the stable menu, as it is greyed out. This is because you have the special edition saddle equipped, and this does not allow for customization. So to equip stirrups, you must replace that saddle with another. Stirrups are a very worthwhile investment. They improve stats for speed, acceleration, stamina core, drain rate in a very substantial way. Far more useful in my opinion than saddles as far as notable results. Other than saddles, these stirrups provide very clean-cut improvements on each other which correlate perfectly with cost. In my opinion, there are two noteworthy stirrups at different price ranges to consider. Firstly, the three cheapest stirrups, which are the Phyllis, Baroque and Slimline Iron Stirrup, provide no bonus to speed or acceleration, with 0%, 5% and 10% bonus to stamina core drain rate respectively, so these should generally be ignored. The first noteworthy stirrup is the Bell Stirrup, as it is a cheaper stirrup that provides a maximum of 2 bonus to speed and acceleration, while also giving a 35% bonus to stam drain. It costs $28.50. That being said, the best stirrup is only $7.50 more in price at $36 and provides a 2 speed and 2 acceleration with a massive 50% to the stamina core drain rate. Stirrups are definitely a very worthwhile investment early on. They are cheap and give huge bonuses, and in case you are wondering, all stables sell all saddles and stirrups, so you can get these off the bat in Chapter 2 in Valentine. As for food, tonics, revives, etc., while lots of them have differing stats what they give, I'll group the food items into treats, nutritious food and highly nutritious foods, for simplicity and speed. This is already a huge guide and we haven't got to the actual horses yet, though fear not, that is next. So for treats that are defined as food items for horses that give less than 25 health points per one, there's peppermint, English mace wild and common bulrush. I should note that no official definition for a horse treat was given. I had inferred this definition from deduction due to the official guide listing nutritious as 25 to 49 and highly nutritious as 50 or higher, with no definition given for treats. For nutritious food there is celery, apple, peach, pear, ginseng, oregano, burdock root, wintergreen berry, baybolette, chanterelles, parasol mushroom, ram's head mushroom, wild mint, blackberry, raspberry, creeping thyme, sage, currant, wild feverfew and sugar cube. Now that last one doesn't sound particularly nutritious, but by its own definition it is. Maybe it's unrefined. And lastly, for highly nutritious food there is beets, carrot, hay cube, class oat cake, wild carrot, corn and horse meal. There are two types of horse reviver, a standard and special. The standard simply revives the horse and adds 5 health. The special revives, adds 10 health and maxes the core health and makes it gold for a day. Horse medicine has 4 types. Opened, which just gives 10 health. Regular, which gives 10 health plus fortified for 2 hours. Potent, which gives 10 health and fortified for 4 hours. And special, which gives 10 health and fortified for 10 hours. It is the same for the horse stimulants, but with stamina. And lastly, for items there are 2 types of grooming item. Horse ointment, which adds 50 to the health core and 100 to stamina core while making the stamina core gold for a day. And the horse care package, which maxes both health and stamina cores and makes them gold for a day. So here is the time you've all been waiting for. Let's go over the best horses for each situation and point in the game. I am purposefully doing this next section in order to be as spoiler free as possible, and as such I'll say the chapter in the game that you can get it, but not the name of any stables as I fear it gives too much away to where the story is going. If you wish to find out yourself, you can consult the spreadsheet linked in the description, which has the full location information. For chapter 1 there is no hope, you cannot yet get another horse, so you are stuck with your Tennessee Walker. Chapter 2 is where the world opens up to you in a number of ways. One of the earliest quests will see you joining a hunt. Along the way you'll take a large beefy Shire horse to stables in Valentine. This will open up the stables for you. It is now that you can have 3 horses stabled and 1 main that you are using. If you pre-ordered Red Dead Redemption 2 and or bought the special or ultimate editions, it is at this specific stables in Valentine that you can pick up your horse or horses. If you pre-ordered, the Ardines will be waiting for you, also known as the Warhorse. This is a beast of a horse with fairly awful top speed and acceleration as far as we know from earlier in the guide that will never change, but what it does have is 7 out of 10 health, which is the maximum stat can be by default in Red Dead 2. The stamina is 5, and don't forget that when fully bonded, there will be 10 and 8, making for an incredibly strong horse, worthy of the name War Machine. There is better for tanking, but much further along, and very expensive, but we'll get to that shortly. The Special Edition horse, which will also be available for Ultimate Edition owners, is the Reverse Dapple Black Thoroughbred. This has the same stat quantity as a warhorse, but in the opposite way. Its health and stamina are 3, but it's not as bad as it sounds, as with full level 4 bonding it will go to 6 for both. Its speed is 7, which is the highest any horse of the game can be for speed. There are none with 7 speed, but none with higher. The acceleration is lower at 5. This is a fantastic horse for short journeys due to stamina, and just generally very good balance once bonded. Though I wouldn't take it into battle if you have a choice, it could die easier than most of its calibre. If you did not pre-order and just got the standard edition, fear not, for you can immediately get an exceptionally good horse. I am referring to the Wild Arabian white-coated horse. It is superior class with elite handling. It has 5 health and stamina and 6 speed and acceleration. Aesthetically it is a beautiful horse, and the best thing is, as it's wild it is free. I should also note that this is the best wild horse. No other wild or ambient horse is better, ambient being owned by NPCs, so anything better must be purchased for serious coin. Also, as it is a wild horse, you will need to tame it, but I'll go through that in the last part of this guide after we've gone through the horses. Chapter 3 affords only one horse of note, and this is a Brindle Thoroughbred. It has the same stats as a Special Edition horse at 3 health and stam, 7 speed and 5 acceleration. It is the first horse available outside of the Special Edition that has the max speed. It will also set you back $450, which isn't that bad considering. Chapter 4 has some very nice horses. A multi-classed race and workhorse with an amber champagne coat of the breed Missouri Fox Trotter. It has 5 health, 6 stamina, 7 speed and 5 acceleration. It is an amazing all-rounder, one of the best. It has max speed and the stamina to back it up for long journeys. It will set you back a fair bit at $950, but at this point in the game it would not be strange to have that kind of cash at all. There is also a beautiful black Arabian, superior class, elite handling. It is better than the wild white coated, but will also cost you $1,050. Its stats are 6 across the board, a very good horse. The third fantastic horse available in Chapter 4 is a pure tanking machine. It has the health and stam of the warhorse at 7 and 5, but with far greater speed and acceleration at 6 and 5. It is a multi-class gold-coated Turkoman with the classes race and war. It'll set you back $950. These 3 horses are all very good and do shine in slightly different ways, but personally, if choosing between these, aesthetic choice would play a big part for me. Chapter 6 doesn't have anything particularly noteworthy, and Chapter 5 doesn't introduce any new horses. What follows, Chapter 6, has 2 noteworthy horses, as well as the best horse in the game. The noteworthy are 2 Turkomen, both with the stats 7565. Now for the big boy. This is a final Arabian, with the coat style of rose grey bay, class of superior, elite handling, and the frankly epic stats of 7 health, 7 stamina, 6 speed and 6 acceleration. Due to 6 speed it is not the fastest, but it is the overall strongest. It'll take many a punch, but can also avoid them like a pro. It is also of course the most expensive at $1,250. Lastly, taming. It's quite a simple practice. There are 2 ways to do it. You can either ride up on your horse and lasso the wild beast, then play the rodeo and not let it buck you off. If you manage to stay on by using your thumbstick to move yourself against the horse's movements, it will submit, at which point you have connected to it with a bonding level of 0. It's only 50 experience to get it to level 1, as we mentioned simply placing the saddle on the horse will bring it to level 1. But it will also be making your current horse a secondary horse, and there isn't a whole lot of information about what happens to it in the official capacity. Personally, I just feel safer leaving my saddle on the mane and then riding the new horse back to the stables with the main horse following. The secondary method is the same as the first, except instead of using your lasso, you slowly walk up to it until you can focus the horse. During this time you will be able to feel the vibration of your controller. This vibration represents the excitement, fear, heart rate, whatever you want to call it, of the horse. When it starts to speed up, the calm meter on the bottom right will rapidly start to drain, at which point the calm button will become active. Make sure to press this button to calm the horse again. Stopping as it is getting aggravated can help. Just take your time and move closer when it's calm. When you get close enough, you'll be able to pat the horse to make some contact. Do this a few times, then mount to start the rodeo and continue as mentioned before. And that, my dudes, is it. I knew this was a big subject, especially for my overly verbose method of guide making, but my god. Anyway, I hope you folk found this interesting or entertaining or just plain informative. If you did and you haven't already, maybe think about subscribing for more guides and live streams and all other such stuff. I'll be continuing with daily videos on Red Dead Redemption for a little while, and then Fallout 76 shall follow. We have a Discord full of awesome people linked in the description, and a Patreon if you would like to help support the channel. If you would, but not in a monetary fashion, then sharing the video is a really fantastic way to do that. It really helps to get the word out. And don't forget, there is a spreadsheet linked in the description with all of the horse stats. Have a fantastic day, my dudes.